Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Corvette Command, the Battle of the Atlantic 1941 to 1943. This is a game designed by Alan Eagle, and it is published by War Diary Publications. Well, we've seen War Diary continues to put out a stream of really solid games, and this one caught my eye primarily on the art alone, and it was just really beautiful art, as you can see by the cover here. I think it is a very distinctive style, and it definitely draws you right in and makes you want to learn more about the game, which is why I have a copy in front of me, and we're going to take a look inside so you can see what you get inside of Corvette Command. But first, let's take a look at the back of the box and see what this game's all about. Corvette Command puts the player in command of a Flower-class Corvette guarding desperately needed supplies being transported across the North Atlantic during the early years of World War II. Fighting both the harsh weather and the continual threat of German U-boat attack, mission success and perhaps even the eventual outcome of the war hinges on the successful passage of the transports. And you see an example of the map and then the counters up here. Components, we get a 17 by 22 inch map, 12-page rulebook, 3 player aid cards, 7 convoy cards, 3 assignment order cards, 19 U-boat cards, 88 laser cut counters, 1 20-sided die, a 10-sided die, and 5 6-sided die. And as it says here, this is a solitaire game, and the playtime is between 30 and 90 minutes. It is for ages 12 and up. So let's take a look inside and see what we get. All right, we have our deck of cards, counter sheet, a whole handful of dice. We got some D6s, a D10, and a D20. We have our rule book, player aid cards, and our map. So let's set up the map and take a closer look at the game. And here's a look at the map that comes with the game. Along the top, we have the convoy route from Halifax and St. John's all the way across to Liverpool. I have the Canadian sector, the air gap in the middle, and then the western approaches. The right-hand side, we have a space for the card deck, the event marker. Here we have the hull damage tracker. Then we have depth charge patterns, weather, ASDIC detection, and the U-boat attack charts. And then along the bottom, we have the tracker for the aspects of the ship, like 4-inch gun, AA gun, depth charges, lookout, engineer, ASDIC, radar, hedgehog, and then the Huff-Duff. And of course, these are all going to be at different times. Radar September 41, Hedgehog in October 42, and Huff-Duff in November of 42. And down in the left corner, we have the resolution chart. When you need to pass something, you're going to be using the active row along the top, and then when you challenge it, you go with the passive on the left-hand side. Next, we'll take a look at the player aids that come with the game. First up is the sequence of play. This is going to give you a listing of all of the steps that you'll follow while playing the game. On the back, we have steps for mechanical failure, as well as the ship damage table. On the next sheet, we have the random event table, which carries over to the back of the sheet. Then we have the U-boat attack sequence flowchart. On the back, we have a list of the counters for random events, as well as for markers. On the last sheet, we have the operations record book, where you can make copies of this so you can keep track of all of the different convoys that you escort across the Atlantic. Next, we'll take a look at the counter sheet that comes with the game. It's a very small counter sheet, but it is done by Blue Panther, so you know exactly the type of quality you're going to be getting. Nice thick counters. And just to note, these Wolfpack counters here along the right-hand side, those are incorrect according to War Diary, and they said that they want to replace those, so they're going to go ahead and get those done and sent out to everybody. So fantastic customer service from War Diary once again. And you know what? I don't think it's game-breaking, but good on them for wanting to get that fantastic art out to us. Next, we'll take a look at the cards that come with the game. First up, we have the assignment orders and the approaching. Assignment orders here. This is going to tell you whether you go in a central, southern, or northern channel when exiting Liverpool. And on the right-hand side, we have the approaching cards. That tells you the type of submarine you're facing, a Type 7. You also can be facing a Type 10. There are a couple of those that will be in the decks. And below that will tell you the type of submarine commander you're facing. When you have LMC, that means long, medium, and close range. The U-boat commander is a little bit more cautious. He's going to stand off and go long range first, then medium, then close range. And then you have the one next to that is medium and close range. So it's a little bit more of an aggressive commander. This way you have a different type of submarine you'll be facing each time. Then the other cards we have are the convoy cards. That's going to tell you whether you're going to be going to Halifax or to St. John's. For your first convoy, you can decide whether you're going to depart from Canada or from England. And lastly, we'll take a look at the rules. This is a 12-page full-color rulebook. On the front page, we have the table of contents listing out all different sections, their associated page numbers. Start off with the introduction, then we get to the game components. All the game basics are explained to you on the inside here on page 2. Then we get to the dice and terminology, because remember, there's a whole bunch of different dice in the game. There are D6s, D10s, D20s. They're going to explain to you what all of the different dice mean and how you're going to be using them. Then we have your game set up on page 3. Then we get into the turn sequence on page 4, movement, mechanical failures, revealing the sector counter, U-boat attack sequence. Remember, we were talking about those cards when we were looking at the cards. This is where you're going to draw your cards, see what type of submarine you're facing off against, and then you have the different attack ranges and how the process is going to work when you're under attack. Then you have your electronic detection, modifiers to hit, U-boat damage table, U-boat attacks on page 7, ship tonnage losses, torpedo attacks versus the Corvette. And we have Corvette action, detection phase, undetected, U-boat is detected, U-boat damage, depth charge attacks, after your depth charge attack, wolf packs, summoning the wolf pack, how those are brought into the game, repairing damage, arrival at port, new convoy assignments, increasing your crew skills, victory conditions, advancements in technology, and then some optional advanced rules like radar and Huff Duff crew skills. Then we have the victory conditions chart here at the bottom of page 11, and that carries over to the back on page 12. Or it also has a quick play single convoy. If you just want to play a real quick game before bed or heading out to work or whatever, you can knock it out using these rules right here. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Corvette Command, the Battle of the Atlantic, 1941 to 1943. This is a game designed by Alan Eagle, and it is published by War Diary magazine. Well, War Diary's been releasing a steady stream of solid games, and this is their latest. It was originally a print and play game. It is now getting the full box treatment, and I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I'm very excited to get this one on the table and check it out. Being solitaire and only 12 pages of rules, it's not going to be difficult to get this one on the table. As you saw, the rules really didn't even start till page 4. So you got about 7 pages of rules because you got a page of them that are optional rules. And then there's even a short, quick convoy rule set at the back, or steps, I should say, for setting up a quick convoy. So that way you can knock one out real fast before bed or whatever if you don't have a lot of time. So looking forward to checking them all out, the optional rules as well as the short game, the long game, just to see how long I last. Probably won't be very long, but it'll still be interesting as long as it's fun and challenging. I'm down for it. So definitely looking forward to checking this one out and seeing if it lives up to the hype I've read online about it. Well, like I said, this comes out from War Diary magazine, and it is available now. So if you have not placed your order, go ahead and do so, and it'll get out to you real quick, because I think I got this in like 2-3 days. So War Diary is really snappy in getting their orders out. And then, of course, it depends on where you are in relation to where it's shipped from, but you should see it within inside of a week. So definitely get your order in, and maybe if you get it in time, you'll see it in time for next weekend. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.